What's going on, L5H? Welcome to the latest real estate market update. Today, we're going to be looking at what sold and didn't sell in March 2024. So let's flip screens and take a look at the numbers. And as you can see from the chart, really not a whole lot to report on. Let's go with the easy one. Semis, townhomes, and condo townhomes, zero sold in March 2024. All the action was with detached homes with 14 sales, a median price of just under $2 million, and an average days on market of 112. And if you've seen my other videos, you will know that this is property days on market, not listing days. And I use this number because it is way more accurate than listing days. For example, if you take a quick look at the stats, it's going to tell us that the average listing days is 21 days on market. So if an agent is talking to a buyer or a seller, not diving deep into these numbers, they're going to see that the average days on market is 21. That's not realistic. Property days gives us the more realistic number. Now that said, there is an exception to this number this month because there was one property that was on the market for 706 days. And it goes without saying that is abnormally long time for a property to sell. In fact, it was actually on longer, but they took it off for a year. Doesn't matter. This was the most recent number of a consistent time on market. Anyway, so if we take out that 706-day property, the average property days on market jumps down to 66 days. So let's just call it a couple of months it's going to take to sell a detached home in the L5H area. And in saying that, the shortest days on market for a property was 2 days, and the highest, aside from that 706, was 253 days on market, with a few more sort of on that higher end, a few more of that lower end, and most of them, of course, sitting in that month to 2 month range. And just a quick note on the prices, the lowest detached to sell went for $1,288,800. The highest was $9,418,550 in the month of March. Now what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about what's happening right now in the market to give a little more context to these numbers as well. So go to flip screens again, and we'll take a look at the MLS together. Now, taking a look at the L5H just for detached home, right now there's 59 detached homes for sale. So if we do the math on that, let's pretend there was 59 properties for sale in March. Of course, the numbers are going to be more or less because some are being sold, obviously, and then more properties are being added. But let's just go ahead and say there was 59 properties on the market at that time. Now we've got to add in those 14 because they've sold. So let's call it 73 properties were for sale. So 14 out of 73 properties sold, that gives us 19%. So based on these numbers, not only will it take you potentially couple of months on average to sell a detached in the L5H, you have about a 19, let's round up and call it a 20% chance of actually selling in today's market. So really something to consider if you're thinking of selling, where that price point is going to be, how the marketing is going to work, and of course the agent that you hire. There's some big names out there. I'm not going to call them out. Everyone's free to run their business how they like. And then you look at the stats a little bit and realize, yes, they do a ton of business, but in comparison to their listings and what they actually sell, there's on some teams, it's a huge discrepancy. So it's really interesting that people don't really talk about the percentages of what they sell. So if you list 1,000 properties, but you only sell 10, it's going to look like you're busy, but those really aren't good odds. But for the agent that lists 10 properties and sells 10, well, that's 100% list to sold ratio. So it's kind of who would you rather have? So just something to consider. And I've mentioned this in other videos as well, especially when it comes to marketing and the real estate world. The numbers and the stats are always going to be fudged to fit the narrative, just like anything you see in other marketing and news and when politicians talk and that kind of thing. So why I'm sharing this? Because every single property that I've listed since 2018, when I got in this business, I have sold. Now, I don't have the massive amount of volume. However, I do like to be more one-on-one, hands-on to ensure all my clients are taken care of and I get them moved and settled to where they want to go. Just throwing that out there. So back to the numbers, 59 detached homes on the market as of right now. And if you look at the stats, you'll see the lowest list price is just under 1.4, with the highest being $24.5 million. So really huge numbers there. And you can see here the days on market for the currently listed. Again, keep in mind this is listing days, not property days. The average is 48. The median is 25. Lowest being 1, obviously just listed. And the highest right now being 455 days. Now, I'm not going to dive into all 59 of these to figure out the actual property days, but this does sound more or less correct as to what's actually happening in the market. Now, we know for the semis, the freehold towns and the condo towns, nothing's sold. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's on the market. And let's start with the semi-detached. For semi-detached in the neighborhood, there are 2 currently on the market. The one is approaching close to a year now. I think it's been on the market. They've just keep relisting it. And the other one they've listed, it was about a month ago. Prices range from 2.4 to 2.65 on these semis. If you know the area, you'll know that there's a huge rush to buy up these little bungalows, demolish them, and then put on some luxurious semi-detached homes. So that's what they've done. Of course, they've been sitting now a while, especially the one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I guess they're just sort of waiting for the market to catch up. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on those. And so now we'll flip over to the freehold townhomes. There is one currently on the market, listed at $1 million. It's been up for 19 days, so not too long, all things considered. And for condo townhomes, there's 2 currently on the market, both listed for $1,050,000, and they've been on the market, one for 18, the other for 12 days. So again, not very long, all things considered. Like I said, it's important to note to really dive down into these numbers, because on the surface, if you have everyone canceling, relisting, or expired and relisting, big price reductions and then selling quickly, it really messes with those true days on market. So like I said, in reality, the average is going to be around a couple of months, taking out that anomaly of 706 days on market. And with a detached home, you have about a 20% chance of selling according to these stats. Any questions, let me know. Drop a comment below. I'll be happy to get back to you. And of course, we can have a one-on-one conversation if it would make sense for you to make a move in this market or not, and if I can be of service to you if things make sense. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you around the neighborhood.